This is the Tale of Loueyrendil, an adventurer in Middle-earth unseen before. Loueyrendil was not your typical high elf. He preferred the life of a sailor, navigating the seas to uncharted territories, journeying to unseen lands, gathering unique items along the way, and using his plunder to his advantage in combat, which he was all too familiar with. The life of a seaman can be treacherous. Pirates and corsairs alike were always a threat to Loueyrendil, and he had to quickly refine his combative skills if he wanted to survive the seas of Arda. On his quest to become master of the seas, one day in Loueyrendil's journey, he heard a tale of folks in need as a great evil was traveling west. Deep down, Loueyrendil, above all, was good, and perhaps to a fault, always wanted to help anyone in need. He sailed up the Grey Flood and ventured forth to this town known as Mossward. Loueyrendil would quickly learn about Middle-earth, Eriador, Swanfleet, and the Great War ahead of him. Still adapting to fighting on land with his trusty rusty swords and daggers, Loueyrendil was described by others as a mariner, and as a mariner, he was tasked to save the small village of Mossward from an Uruk-hai raid. And the rest of Loueyrendil's tale is, well, history, and it is indeed an epic for the ages. With my brand new mariner, Loueyrendil, I embark on one of the toughest LOTRO challenges yet as I try to get level 20 without dying, which is honestly very simple. But what if I turn on the max landscape difficulty and receive no outside help, no XP boost, and level through normal landscape gameplay? Is it possible to complete the self-imposed hardcore challenge with LOTRO's newest class, the Mariner? I mean, what better class for my first ever attempt at this challenge? As I make some progress questing through the introductory Mossward quests here, let's lay out some ground rules. First, if I die, I delete my character and star all over again, no exceptions, so let's hope the LOTRO hamsters are well fed today. Second, I must remain at max landscape difficulty the entire time. I talked to the Hardened Traveler, set it to difficulty 9, heroic +2, and I cannot change it. Third, this is a solo challenge. Only me, a lone mariner. Oh, and my cats, but they do the opposite of help. Fourth, no help or items from my alts. This is fully self-sufficient, and along with that, fifth, crafting is allowed, but I cannot go out of my way to craft just for levels. I can gather materials I come across, I can craft any gear I want, but I am limited to processing only the amount of materials needed for the gear. If I break the spirit of this rule, you all can vote to kick Loueyrendil off of Middle-earth. Sixth, to be consistent and replicable, I am always starting with the Before the Shadow intro, no race-specific intro, and this way I get into the full world and max difficulty as early and low level as possible. And seventh, just to get to number 7, I must repeat, this is hardcore mode. Defeat in LOTRO really means death for this character. Sounds like a lot of fun with these rules. Well, actually, yes. It makes the world more dangerous, and despite the great odds of my death, it makes my characters oddly feel less disposable as I become attached to him and don't want him to die and be deleted. If you all try a similar challenge, let me know what rules you employ and how it goes with your class. I'd be really curious to see what can be done. I also should point out that you all did vote to let me use a mount to speed up travels, so we will be doing that. But now that we've laid the ground rules, let's get back to Loueyrendil. I'm a bit out of practice, having been a while since I've leveled a character at all in LOTRO, and realistically, I haven't even played the game that much since summer. I go through these intro quests very slowly, and I have to admit, any mob above my level is quite terrifying since they have so much health and do so much damage, while I'm like an easily squishable ant. I decide that I want to pick up crafting early on so I can start gathering nodes that are in my path of travel so I can get some of that XP gain started up. Again, fully within the rules of the challenge, and I need all the XP I can get to level up and not be terrified of every fight, especially against these dang boars. So I head to Lon Garen and do just that. I soon find out though that you need to be level 5 to do the intro quest for some free resources, but still, while here I decide to pick up Weaponsmith so I can make myself some starter weapons. This would allow me later on to actually swap to tailor or jeweler so I can make some armor and jewelry. A key element to surviving is going to be strategizing how I can best utilize my resources with LOTRO's vocation system. While the vocations are actually going away soon with the crafting revamp, I currently have to work around it, and if I want to make the best possible gear that I can with my limited resources, I will need a good strategy. Until then, let's discuss the Mariner class. I decided that I would go blue line shanty collar so I can heal myself, plus I do so little damage it's not like the damage buffs of the red line duelist spec matter all that much. And the yellow line rover, that might be something for the future that I am actually looking forward to trying out eventually. Right now I'm level 6 and Mariner gameplay is quite fun so far. You do get a lot of abilities with both a defensive and offensive skill set, and you are all in on the swordplay and balance mechanics. Early on, you are taught to use alternating abilities to get the full effect out of your abilities and master the swordplay mechanics. In fact, I think at this point, without utilizing the swordplay mechanics, this character would no longer be with us on Middle-earth. And as I head back to Mossward, I am unaware, but we are about to hit a serious turning point as I achieve level 7, and perhaps more importantly, I am able to craft myself some shiny new weapons, tossing out and replacing my old rusty ones. And let me tell you, these level 7 weapons are overpowered. No longer ant taps, my thrusts and swipes now do actual damage. Enemies will start to fear my blade. Basking in this confidence, I have swapped to the red line DPS spec and wow, my damage is insane. I even got this amazing 121 crit here. Shortly after this, I am finding myself up against this fearsome level 9 warg, and I actually dispatch of him quickly even though his bites left me bleeding out a bit more than ideal. But these new weapons in this warg fight are really setting me on the confident path moving forward. I am no longer scared, and I am actually feeling safe to plan out my future because I actually foresee a future deep into Before the Shadows for this character. After finishing Mossward, I will skip the Hobbit villages in the southeast because of memories of the terrible Tales of Loueyrendil, that poor dwarf who got so bored of helping the hobbits that he stopped adventuring in Middle-earth altogether. It's a very sad story and it's making me want to just head straight to Loueyrendil, and there I will dedicate myself to crafting. I will aid the Dunlending elves of Western Eregion before letting you all vote on Breland or Cardolan for the final few levels of this challenge. But first, I must craft to outfit myself for this certain future. It might seem silly to your regular traveler through Middle-earth, but achieving level 7 and 8 and preparing for the future has made crafting so exciting and fun. This brings back memories of another era, another time in Lotro's Middle-earth when I was actually excited to craft myself armor and process my resources. The management of resources, the strategizing of how I'm swapping vocations, the actual creation of very useful gear pieces, all of this is creating one of the most fun crafting experiences I have ever had in Lotro. It was a real joy when I picked up 5 bear wire and ores back at the wolf camp because I can even now use those actually for level 12 weapons to make sure my damage stays high enough to slay any mob I need in my further adventures. I even get to use the crafting introduction ingredient packs to make an amazing level 15 weapon that should have me set for the rest of this character's journey. After creating my weapons, I swapped jeweler and used the rest of my copper ore and ingots to craft some of the finest jewelry known to level 7. Although I do have to say the fate and power stats on these are more than useless, especially with the Mariner class and impending game-wide fate nerf, unless something changes of course. Still, all of these massive upgrades and even the decent bit of XP are going to be so beneficial moving forward. I am dedicating plenty of time to crafting to make sure I am as well prepared as possible and unlikely to die as possible. But I must mind the rules, and I cannot craft forever, only what I need and will use. So I must step foot outside the safety of Loueyrendil, and it's time to deal with Avanks. And if you know anything about the Swanflea Avanks, then you know they have one of the deadliest poisons in all of Middle-earth. Just a few ticks and you are poisoned to death. But with all of this gear, I am able to survive, even if barely. My crafting work is immediately paying off here, and I am reaping the benefits of still being here in Middle-earth. And I honestly have a question: if these Avanks can't kill me, then what can? I realize though that I probably shouldn't be too overconfident as I encounter this warg den. This is looking a bit scary, as I have to eventually defeat my first ever signature and navigate this dense grouping of mobs. I plot, I plan, I skirt the edges, I slowly pick off wargs one by one while collecting the precious amethyst nightshades. Okay, I just need one more amethyst nightshade in the pack leader. Those quests have actually been easier than I thought. And then I hear a noise. And remember when I said my cats were the opposite of helpful? I think all is good, but I need to find my cats real quick. I don't think they got out, but my outside door opened, and I don't know how, but I think all should be good. Oh, I found her. So it's an outside door. It's not like the door to go outside, but there's a closet outside. And Piper here was laying under the blanket on my bed. I don't know how long she's been laying there, because I doubt that noise scared her there. I'm guessing Lexi was scared to go under the chair. Sorry, I have a wire right on the desk here, because that's currently my speaker wire. We have a problem. Everyone's excited about the cat. 2 hours in? Time to restart. I really don't want to do this, but I spent so long on him. It was only 2 hours, but I was doing so good. Piper here. All her fault. And that, my friends, is the end of the journey of Loueyrendil, but not the end of the tale of Loueyrendil. Indeed, it is just the beginning.